it's Steph with Tiny's Garden here, and today we are going to make DIY Christmas planters at a very affordable price. Let's jump right into it. Now, as far as supplies, it really doesn't take that many, and as I was searching for things to put in these beautiful new ceramic planters I got for our new front porch space, I realized these are all very, very expensive, upwards of $350 for pre-made holiday arrangements to go as a drop-in into some sort of container. But I can do this for much cheaper than that on my own. Starting with the first supply I purchased, I got 2 of these fresh greenery bunches from Home Depot that they were selling for $20, which are recycled evergreen branches and limbs, things like that. So for 2, we're at $40. Next, I purchased these beautiful red dogwood branches, the Arctic fire dogwood shrub, which are real and I got at my local garden center. But aren't they beautiful? This is my favorite. Such a vibrant red on these. These were on sale for $10. I also purchased these really beautiful branches that I think are just average tree branches that they've spray painted with some white and even some shimmer, some glimmer in there. Really adds a pop to the containers, and in my instance, these pearl colored containers, I think it really pulls it all together. And these, if I'm remembering right, were about $10. So with the red dogwood branches, 10 and 10 is 20. We're now at $60. I also got some wilt fresh, which will help these evergreen branches stay looking fresh throughout the season. If you don't use this, sometimes I noticed last year I did not, and you can tell they fade more quickly and get very, very dry. So I went ahead and got some wilt fresh this year. I don't even think it was $5, but we'll say $5. So we're at $65 for supplies for 2 containers. Now, I am not counting my ceramic pots in part of that price, but a lot of us already have planters on hand that you can just put this arrangement into. If you do have to buy a pot, it doesn't have to be ceramic, and you can find them much more cheaper than what a ceramic would be. However, I wanted to invest in ceramic that I can keep up here year-round and change out for the seasons. Now my favorite part, the stuff that I either had on hand or was free. My favorite supply that cost me nothing is me going out to our front garden bed and foraging this, which is really just a leftover black-eyed Susan. I thought, you know, those bulb heads are pretty interesting. I think that could add some interest if I spruce them up, and even the leaves on here too. So I just went out and cut a few branches of these. For those branches, I'm gonna spruce them up with some gold paint. So this is just spray paint that I had on hand. This will spruce these up real nicely. I had a bunch of acorns left over from other craft projects from previous years, and even some berries that'll look really nice in the arrangement. Lastly, I've got my shears that I have and use throughout the year, of course, and I'll use these if I need to cut any branches down for size. Then the last 2 things I'm using that I already had on hand is potting soil and something I figured out this holiday season, which is a great container filler. We get so many of these in packages that we get from purchasing different holiday presents. I thought I can use this to take up space in my container so I don't have to use so much potting soil and save some money that way too. So come take a closer look at how much I've got in here. You can see I've just stuffed a bunch of these down in here to take up some space. And if I ever want to take these out, I can, but for now, instead of going through 2 or 3 bags of potting soil, if not 4, to fill this size of container up, which is probably 20 inches, I'll be using 1. So if we total all of that up, the evergreen branches being $40, the Arctic fire dogwood branches and the white branches being $20 total, that's $60. Say we throw the wilt fresh in there because I purchased that this year, we'll say $5, that's $65. And everything else I either had on hand or got from my own garden. $65 for 2 huge 20-inch diameter pots. $32.50 per pot. $32.50 versus some I've seen out there for $100, $200, $300, $350. And I've got a nice bountiful look here. $32.50, $350. $32.50, please. So let's get started putting this second one together. I'm gonna go spray paint my Black-Eyed Susie's branches right now. Also, a reminder, please subscribe in the lower right-hand corner if you wanna keep up with us here with all things garden. Okay, you can see where I trialed these yesterday, but I'm just gonna set these out here in our little junk pile area and get them all sprayed. While those dry, let's get started and put this potting soil inside the container. The great thing about this bagged air and bubble wrap is that it'll also act as like a floral frog for us putting our branches in and give it some structure and support. So I'm gonna start with putting my tall red Arctic Fire dogwood branches in the back first because they're the tallest. I'll also put in some of these white ones in front of those in the middle section, and I'll come in and do the same thing with the branches. Tall ones toward the back, smaller ones toward the front. Here we go, let's do it. You can also see we've got the tallest of the tall branches in the middle here, and then it kind of curves just a little bit on each side. That I also did on purpose. Now with what I have left here, I'm going to try and add as much height as I can to the greenery. These dogwood branches are quite big on this one, so I want to give it a little more greenery right up here so it's a little more proportional. Mission accomplished! Woohoo! We'll finish with just putting the little ones in here. I'm gonna go pine cones first because they're taller. This is filled in nicely. Let's add our gold Black-Eyed Susan branches. And I do believe she is done. And just like that, before we lose all light, we are done. Now, besides the construction poles that still aren't done, this is a pretty nice inviting front porch space for the holidays, eh? Thanks for watching. I hope that this was helpful and maybe inspired you for a holiday project to let you know that you can do it on a dime. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I'd love to have you here with me, and we will see you in the next one. Happy holidays and happy planting. Bye. How does it look with the light? Are you feeling the holiday spirit? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. I'm feeling the spirit. I'm feeling the holiday spirit.